Hi, this is Don Casey, and thank you for listening to DS Tunes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to DS Tunes. My name is Anna Bruns, and I will be your host. Today, I have a pleasure to talk to Julie Mroziak, Vice President of Dentsply Sirona Lab. How are you doing, Julie?
I'm great. Thanks, Anna, for having me.
You've been with Dentsply Sirona for over 20 years. How did your career begin?
It's a great question. I actually started off as a production supervisor in York, Pennsylvania, in the denture tooth manufacturing plant. And over 4 years, I learned a lot about the operational facility and production quality, efficiency. But what I realized is that my passion that I had been educated in was marketing. And so I made my transition over to marketing for the lab space for denture teeth, and that's where I started my evolution in through the marketing steps. I've always been very thankful to the company for the opportunity for growth and expansion, and so that space allowed me to understand both operations and marketing, which is really valuable to me even today.
Yeah, that's a good combination, right? Because you can understand both sides.
Exactly. It gives me a deeper insight into understanding some of the phases of development, the operational requirements, and how we have to be great communicators between the two groups.
Yeah, that's really great. You're responsible for the lab business. What trends you're most excited about in this side of the industry?
This is a really dynamic and fun, changing time in the lab space. Digital technology is dynamic. It's especially a new pivot in the removable digital denture space. Our organization is so proud to bring to market the first high-strength impact printable denture-based material. Luckily, we're at the Chicago Midwinter meeting right now, and we're watching the market get so excited and re-energized about removable dentistry, but also really the lab space feels with a new energy about how they're contributing to patient care. They see that their value is slightly different, but just as meaningful as before. And we couldn't be happier as the lab group to be a part of that evolution, to support our lab customers, and really know that we're having a role in helping patient full dental care and full arch reconstruction. So this is a really fun time to be in the dental lab space.
Recently, you have been involved in planning for the annual Women in Dentistry breakfast. Could you tell us a little bit more about this meeting and the goal of this meeting for women?
Yes, I would love to. We have partnered a number of years ago with a couple industry leaders, started off in the lab space and has expanded to the full industry. The goal is to bring together female leaders in all aspects of dental, in manufacturing, education, clinicians, laboratory technicians, and try to elevate the space and the voice of female leaders. We are looking at how can we help each other, how can we bring forward new KOLs into this space, are there ways that we can support and help females both personally for professional development, but also in networking and career development. And this has really been a growing, high-energized group. We just had an exciting meeting today, and we feel fortunate to be a part of that and a sponsor from Dentsply Sirona.
What was your most important takeaway after this meeting?
The biggest learning is to look at the industry with open eyes and take down the walls of competition and really look at the value for each of the women that are coming to events like these. We all can learn from each other. Everybody's challenge brings the opportunity to learn and grow regardless of how you contribute in the dental space. So for me, it was very moving to see women from all parts of the U.S. market and really some international leaders come together and just share from their heart about challenges they've been through, how they've overcome, and what they're going to do to advance other women and open doors for other females in this space.
Yeah, I think when you look at this meeting within years, so you can really see that dentistry is changing, and also leadership in dentistry is changing. What is your personal opinion on that?
Yes, I think we see it obviously in statistics. It's very clear to see what's changing in the number of students going into dental schools, the number of female students graduating, even the number of technicians and female laboratory owners is changing. I think for me, what's important is that you have to have a dynamic both from education, from manufacturing, and from industry clinicians that are working together that can open up doors to new possibilities for leadership. I was really excited to hear about what other companies are doing, but for Dentsply Sirona to be able to highlight some of the smart integration award concepts that can be spread over multiple parts of the business, how we can take the WIN program and pull together more leaders and rise them up. I think internally we're doing more to make sure that leaders are being visible and getting promoted into higher levels in the company, but also what we're doing for external market leadership in dentistry in the female space.
Mm-hmm. What challenges did you face yourself during your career?
So when I look back at my 22 years, the thing that I think was the most challenging was actually internal in me. You grow and you learn from experiences. You think you're confident, or you think you've earned a right to lead. And really, it takes you time to build that up. And I believe that one of my biggest challenges was just not being confident enough to speak my voice. Once I learned that I had the right knowledge, that my opinion was important, I needed to share it and do it in the right way, I elevated to the next level of my career. It was really about personal growth for me that allowed me to break through that wall and then be able to go forward and advance.
Did you have somebody who helped you to break this wall?
So I've always had a lot of strong leaders that I really admire, and I look to several people in the organization as models for me, Terry Dolan being one of them. But I've also had really strong male leadership that was encouraging of me to stand up, to go forward, to be independent in my leadership. Tom Leonardi has been a strong advocate for women, and I've always appreciated the opportunities that he's provided to me and allowed me to spread my wings and grow.
So I assume you're working very hard, Julie, for your career, for the company. I think it's for many people, not only women, it's difficult to find the right balance between work and family life. How do you manage to find a balance?
Yes, balance is a really tough and emotional topic for female leaders. I think everyone believes they can do everything, but it's hard when you have a family and young children. It's always a work in progress. I'll give an example or a story, though. However, my grandfather, when I was young, really taught me two very important lessons. One was to work extremely hard, and the second was to love people. And I watched him model a way he was a farmer. We came from a farming family, vegetables. And I watched him be extremely hardworking. And then there was a time and place to take balance and to enjoy your family and to spend time with them. But you have to work when the work is there. I apply that now to my work life. So when you're in the middle of a big product launch, like we just did with Lucitone Digital Print, you have to put in the long hours. You have to power through your family sacrifices sometimes. When that moment is over, you have to force yourself consciously to rebalance and decide you're going to go home at a more normal time. You're going to make sure that you go to the events at your daughter's school to volunteer and bring that balance back together. Those pendulums will constantly swing in life. So for me, that's how I've learned to balance my work and my home life.
Yeah, so I think that balance, the issue of finding a balance we will have it every day, right? Mm-hmm. So it's not like once and done. So we have to find a solution every day.
Yes, and I think even encourage others as we see that we can all learn from watching someone who has either work too
Who has
much.
the same situation or a similar one?
Exactly. So encouraging others and helping them through if you see someone struggling, that's how we'll all help each other to balance the work and the life together. So, yeah, I agree.
Dentsply Sirona has increased its own focus on women, both in terms of supporting future leaders and also supporting customers. Where do you see opportunities for the company to do even more?
So, two places I would point out, one internally and one externally. I believe that the WIN Women in Leadership program is a phenomenal place for the company to formally acknowledge younger talent, new talent, and bring them in, help them get personal growth and development, help them with a mentor, give them projects that are meaningful, that they feel very passionate and a part of the company. And then from those programs, I think some of these ideas spur about how do we truly help the market? Where can we bring things forward like the Smart Integration Award that's external, where we can identify places where females might have a different voice in how they use our product, how they interact with our workflows, how their work structure might be different than it used to be back when it was a more male-dominated industry. So I think we have to research, we have to ask questions, we have to learn, and then we can tailor internally to how we develop, how we communicate, and how we make sure that we are focused on those trends that are happening.
Sounds like a good plan. How do you approach building a team in which every member feels able to raise their voice?
So leading a team is probably my favorite part of my job. I am very passionate about people. I care the most about people. I love what we do in the industry for patient care. We watch transformation of lives happen every day, especially with crown and bridge and dentures. When people are edentulous, we really make an impact on their lives. They're confident, they're eating, they're smiling, they're engaging again. I feel that same passion within my team, and having a diverse, broad team is a big challenge. With the lab group, we have 3 different locations. Some of my team members are in Bensheim, Germany, and Hanau, and also in York, Pennsylvania. So building a team that's fully collaborative, that understands and respects the values of each other is a hard process to go through. It's a work in process because culture builds walls and causes people to not understand the perception or the perspective that someone brings in. For me, it's very important to have regular team meetings where people can voice their opinion together, where we can challenge assumptions and not be afraid to say that something is not right or we think differently about it.
That is very open communication within the team.
Absolutely. Very open communication and respect for each other's opinion.
Sounds like a very great team, right?
They're an amazing team. They're the best. I'm so proud of them.
Are there any specific questions you always ask while an interview recruiting for a new team member?
So I haven't done a ton of recruiting lately, but I had 2 questions that I used to love. One was more formal and serious, and one was a little bit funny. So I'll tell you the first. I always ask someone's biggest success, what they're most proud of in their life, and also their biggest failure. I think it's important that people can learn from their blind spot or a failure that they've had, and listening to how someone responds will let you know how much they're willing to share about those growth opportunities. The second fun question that I often would ask in years was, if you were a cereal, what kind of cereal would you be and why? I think it's so interesting to take someone off guard and let them explain to you what would make their cereal. I would be Rice Krispies, Snap, Crackle, Pop. That's my personality. But it lets you go into a little bit of something that's not so formal about the knowledge and just really get to know the person inside.
Were people confused?
Sometimes I get a really funny face, but I think it also makes people feel more comfortable. You get real and it pulls down any nerves that someone might have.
Yeah, I think they start laughing and then it helps for the whole conversation, right?
Absolutely correct.
I think you almost answered my next question, but I'll ask it anyway. How does an effective leader communicate?
Yeah, transparency, honestly, being real with people. Sometimes it's a hard message, but I also feel it's very important to encourage the team. I'm a great encourager. I like to recognize people and build them up. We have a lot of hard work we do at the company. We are stressed every day, but we have to find that balance of knowing when to push hard, be truthful, but also support, encourage, and all hands on deck to help each other get through big projects or hard times.
So motivation.
Correct.
Right. Yeah, that's an important topic. Yeah. How do you relax outside of work?
So I love to travel with my husband. We like to go to tropical islands. It's our favorite thing to do every year. He is a scuba diver, and I like to snorkel. Love to be underwater with fish, and that is really purely relaxing. Going away, sitting in the sand, having sun on my face, that's really important. We also love to do things with our daughter. She's 7. We like to go to amusement parks. We love roller coasters. I have a great network of girlfriends. I love to go walking with them when I can catch time or go out to dinner. So those are my favorite things to do outside of work.
What was your favorite island you visited?
So last year we were lucky enough to go to Turks and Caicos, which has the most incredible blue water ever. So that was really a highlight, but I really wouldn't turn down any island out there.
So you mentioned you travel and you like traveling, and I'm sure you also travel on business a lot. So is there anything that keeps you connected to home while you're away?
Yes, of course. Now that we have great social media technology, I love to FaceTime. I love to make quick calls home to my daughter before she goes to school or after school. It's a great way, an easy way to stay connected.
Are there specific habits that you have to start your day or something you do every day?
Mornings probably aren't my favorite time. I actually am a stronger performer in the afternoons and evenings. However, something that's a ritual that I do on my drive to work is I usually have a call every day with my dad. We talk about what's going on for the day. He encourages me, kind of peps me up a little bit before I go into work. And so that's my daily ritual.
Sounds really great. March 8th is International Women's Day. Can you finish the following sentence for me? I wish all women
would feel confident about what their talent or skill set is. I really have a great passion for wanting to help younger children, young women in their career feel empowered to speak up and feel good about whatever stage they are in their development or their career. Confidence will help us escalate and elevate female leaders in the organization. For me, that's the best thing we could do for each other, is help each other to feel confident, step forward, and have a voice because it's needed.
Thank you so much, and I hope we will see each other at the next breakfast for women in dentistry.
That sounds great. I'm sure we will. Thank you for taking the time.
Thank you, Julie.